Well, Gary, happy with a point tonight?
Yes, I think that we certainly deserved a point, John. On the second half showing alone, I felt that all credit to Braintree. They were the better side in the first half. They pressed, they worked very, very hard. I think I didn't buy into this 2 games in 48 hours. There was 5 changes of very good players, and when you see the likes of Kenny Davis, who's a quality midfield player, and the lad Phillips with his experience at the back, and Simicola not included, and other players, they've got a very good squad. For a club that ain't got much money, to have 21, 22 very good players, they're a useful outfit. So, deservedly 1-0 down at half time, no complaints. Second half, I felt we showed a lot of character. I felt we were a better side by a long, long way. Very unlucky not to get the equalising goal, and you feel that with Adam Cunnington up front tonight, all round, with him leading the line, winning his headers, and unlucky when he's hit the post, getting on with a flick header from Dan Ullman, that it weren't going to be our night. But rightly so, we got the equaliser. John Goddard, 9 in 18 games, John, from midfield, and we'll start talking about 1 goal in 2 games for a midfield player on a consistent basis for a team which hasn't been playing well, when he's low in confidence. That's a tremendous compliment to John Goddard, there's no doubt about that. But I was encouraged in respect of and I think the supporters was, John, in respect of the second half we showed. We dug in deep. Very young team tonight. You looked across the midfield there at Johnny Goddard 21, Cadell Daniel 21, Joey Jones 21, Matt Robinson 21, Cameron Norman, the right back from Norwich on loan, 19. We had a very young team out there, and that's the thing, when we do go behind, John, we are finding it tough, and after losing some of the experienced players and being low on confidence, we found it tough. But to get a reaction and a response in the second half, it's made me feel very upbeat tonight, in respect of that we've deservedly got a draw out the match in every way or form, and I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that in every way or form. I'm not going down the avenue of saying this and saying that. I think that we got what we deserved. Other days we might have went on and won the game, but I felt the second half was probably the best 45 minutes we've played at home probably over the last half a dozen games, John. That was encouraging, and the supporters have been very patient. They know that things aren't easy at the moment financially. They know that we've got a lot of injuries. They know we've got a young team. But the way they got behind the team in the second half, and the way they stood at the end of the game and applauded the team off at the final whistle, it's a massive lift for the players, believe me. I heard players coming in at the change room at the end and said, "Did you hear the fans at the end?" They were really chuffed. They need that help, John. Me and Tomo need that help. The supporters need that help. So it was a big result for the club, yeah.
And at half-time, Gary, what exactly did you say to the players? Because it was noticeable, once Braintree got their noses ahead, your players went a little bit flat, didn't they? And probably thinking, oh no, here we go again.
Well, very much so, John. That's where it is. We keep, turning around and tripping over and getting, or find ourselves 1-0 down. And in this league, whoever you find yourself 1-0 down against is tough. But we've got Adam Cunnington on loan from Ebbsfleet, and I think he made so much difference to the team in respect of winning their medals in the first half, where people weren't really gambling and getting on to the second ball. But second half, I thought he led the line well. I think he's took a lot more responsibility away from Dan Holman, which allowed Dan to get round him, and Johnny Goddard and other players coming into space. So, I'm grateful for the help from Ebbsfleet Football Club, by letting him come out on loan, and on tonight's showing, he led the line well for us, and it certainly makes it a lot easier for the team, even though we don't play so much football in our own half. I think that further up the field, it allows us to turn around and be a lot more competitive, and in areas where we can cause danger.
And another cameo role tonight from Bruno, who obviously set up John Goddard's goal.
Bruno's a very good player, John. Bruno is a favourite down here. As soon as he goes to go on, I can hear the moaners call and go, Bruno. They like Bruno. He's that sort of player. But we tell Bruno's got a lot of quality, but the little 20 and 30 minutes, we don't buy into that, John. He's got a lot of ability and should be playing in the Football League. There's no doubt about that. We want to see Bruno being able to do what he does in 20 or 30 minutes for 60, 70, 80, 90 minutes. And then he'll start playing regular in the team. That's what it's about. At the moment he's become an impact player, even more so at home. But he's a good lad. He's got to buy into the way we're working, and if he wants to start games, he's got to make sure that he works hard for us, and that's where it is. There's no secret about that, John. We're going through a transition period where we've got a lot of, John. it was hard enough at this football club at the end of last season, where we come only 3 points off the playoffs, to lose the spine on my side last year in respect of, or what we've lost in respect of Joe McNerney, Josh Payne and Scott Rendell. We've had new changes, 9 players, and all of a sudden we're in November and I've lost the spine on my side again in Ishmael Yakubu, Kieran Murtagh and Scott Rendell. You know, that's tough for me, and I've been in the game 25 years. That's tough for me to handle. So it's tough for everybody at the football club, financially, as a supporter and everywhere from. We've got a lot of young lads. We've got to stay patient with them. They're going to have some good days, they're going to have some bad days. That's football. But, you know, the pleasing factor was we've got a draw tonight, and I was so pleased for them players when, as I say, players come in at the end and said, "Do you want the supporters get right behind us?" And that took a lot of weight off them tonight, John, and they're looking forward to coming into training Thursday.
And for you as a manager, Gary, I'm sure you haven't experienced a season like this where you've been hit with so many injuries and then go on a really bad run. Have you found it very testing? Yeah,
without a doubt, John. I think not from the club, not from the club in respect of, you know, the chairman or the directors or the supporters in any way or form. No, from myself, in my own, you know, nature really as a person. You know, I'm not used to that over, you know, 25 years. But, you know, they say Jose Mourinho's got the same problem. Well, I wouldn't mind so much if I was having Jose Mourinho's wages. I might be smiling. But no, it's been tough, John. But, you know, I've always turned around and said that I think everybody knows. I've always tried to be honest with everybody at the football club in every way I form. We've had 4.5 wonderful years, John. 4.5 wonderful years on and off the pitch as a football club. The chairman's worked tirelessly to try and do things with his directors. He's trying to push the club into an area to go forward. I'm trying to do it with Steve Thompson and everybody else. The supporters are buying into it. We've had 4.5 wonderful years, and all of a sudden we've had 2 months of bad luck, playing poorly, low on confidence. But as we always turn around and say, you know, that's when you have to stick together and hang in there. Our number one thing, John, for this football club is to push on and get them 50 points and brush ourselves down and look at the injuries we've had and look at the problems we've had, and at the end of the season turn around and build again. You know, John, it's a football club which I have a great affection to. Everybody knows that. You know, it's not about me needing this or me wanting to do that. The football club means a great deal to me. I always have my ups and downs with the chairman and other people because I can be that sort of person, you know, but not in a way where it's any way on towards the football club. You know, it's very supportive in every way. From the chairman come over last week to training. He's come across there where he's left his work in the morning to come over there, and, you know, I was surprised to see him walking over. I thought he was coming to sack me, but no, he was coming over to give a bit of moral support to the players and me and Tomo and that. And he's a top chairman who's trying his best for this football club with the board of directors and the supporters. And as I say, John, we will dig deep, we will work hard together, and whatever comes out of it is that, you know, me and Tomo will be taking this team and this football club over the line at the end of the season and remaining in the National Conference League and then build again.
For a minute, Gary, I thought you were so short of players that you were going to say Mike Smith came along to join in with training.
Well, being fair, John, the way we've been playing over the last 3 or 4 games, I was going to have him and Jeff Chappell up front, but I didn't think they'd be mobile enough. Next
up, Saturday, Macclesfield at home. A difficult side, and I thought a side who looked very, very useful when you played them earlier this season.
Good side, John. Very, very good side. Whatever way you look at it, they've got options up top there with the boy Dennis, who's been getting a lot of goals. They've got the boy Rowe, they've got Holdroy, they've got, you know, Whitehead, Whittaker in midfield. You know, they've got some good players. They're a good side. They're a good side. They beat us 2-1 up there, and the scoreline flattered us, no doubt about that. But they were very unlucky last week to go at the FA Cup away at Portsmouth. So tough game, but we've given ourselves a platform, John, to build on now by getting that result against Braintree. So hopefully come on Saturday, and looking forward to going to work Saturday. I always look forward to going to work, whatever way you look at it, but I think the players are really looking forward now to getting here on Saturday and having the support behind them. And they've walked round the corner tonight, John, and all of a sudden, instead of getting a punch on the nose, getting beat, they've turned around and seen some reward. And it's a really pleasing changing room tonight, because they are very low and they have been low in respect to the results.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Gary. Safe journey home.
Cheers.